Okay, I've gathered my thoughts like better. Like I didn't know how to put it in words, but I was like, now it's like this, right? Okay, I was essentially making the example that, like, with people, right? If you're gonna do something that's unique, right? Something that's a bit different, right? Something that's a bit like outside of the norm, right? People are not gonna always be embracing of it in the beginning because it's weird, right? It's like it's like it's very brash in the beginning. It's very harsh, right? It's kind of like how like before you're famous, if you have like a specific type of personality, let's say like you're very confident or like you believe in yourself and you think you're that nigga and stuff like that, right? To some people that might come off as arrogance in the beginning because you don't have anything to show for it. But when you're weird before you're famous, right? You're just weird. You know what I'm saying? You're just a weird ass nigga. But when you finally become famous or become successful and everything you did say comes about, right? All these traits that you have don't necessarily become weird anymore. They become unique. People start seeing you like you're different, you're misunderstood. It's like how, I don't know if you ever heard, there was this one artist, I just forgot who he was. He used to paint, right? And this was like back in like the 19th century, 1900s, you know what I'm saying? But he like essentially would paint paintings and stuff like that, right? But then he kind of like tweeted, I read something about it, I just forgot where, I'm gonna get it back for you. But he essentially was like stating like how he would paint these images, right? And he would deliberately like paint images that were going to be jarring to people so that it could give off this idea of him being like a twisted genius, because it would kind of like raise like his cult like personality in the art space, right? And if you know anything about being an artist, you got to understand, like, there's times where I even tell niggas like Kanye pre-Nazi era, right? His personality was probably one of his greatest assets. Kanye, I do not think would have reached or been as big as he has been, or as culturally like impactful as he had been, if he had behaved like Frank Ocean. If Kanye was the type of person who just made music and kept quiet and just never ever did no interviews, he probably would have never ever like, he still would have been successful because he's very talented, right? But part of Kanye's success comes from his lore, right? The fact that like Kanye is not just the music. Kanye is like everything, like the shit that he says, the way he'd carry himself, the fact that he was dating Kim Kardashian at some point, which did great things for celebrity status, which niggas don't even take into account. Niggas don't really understand how important a bad bitch is for your image. A bad bitch is one of the most important things you can. And if you think I'm bullshitting, I remember when I was a young nigga boy, no matter how fly I would be, there was always this thing that used to hover over me like a cloud. Like, because like I was young and I was like really shy, right? When I was like, even if I had some type of motion, right? When niggas find out I didn't have, like, I'm talking about niggas could respect me, right? Niggas could be like, oh, this nigga different. I fuck with you. Like, there's something about you, right? But when they used to find out I don't get bitches, yo, then everything just collapses, because like, this is when I was young though. So don't get on my dick now. Tell my, hey, you can get her. Like, shut up, nigga. I'm talking now. I'm talking about back then. You know what I'm saying? So suck my dick. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing with me. Don't disrespect me. I'm really on that shit like every day. I don't play about that. But anyways, I'm saying that like at this point, right? At that point, the fuck, like, one of the main things I realized was like how important it is, how very important women are, how crucial they are for like success, right? But you gotta like make it look effortless. Like, you can't be no pick me ass nigga. Like, women are very very important. I don't think you understand like how important women are. Like, for like, women are very important. They're very 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 important for our lives and our people and our success and our world and the lives that we live. Like, we support women and we love them and we show them lots of hearts and love and success, and we give them millions. We give them million always. Like, that's what we do. But you must understand one thing, boy. What was I saying now? Oh yeah, I was saying that like women are very crucial. What am I talking about though? What the fuck? Women are crucial. Blah blah blah. Oh, no, I was talking about like how is in terms of like success, right? Fuck. In terms of success, there's a lot more aspects than what you just like put out, right? It's a lot more about perception, and perception can be controlled, right? But you need to make it look effortless, right? And it's like part of the reason why, like, if you look at Cardi's fans, bro, I always use Cardi as an example because Cardi is very important to look at, bro. I think Cardi is a very very important case, right? Cardi, if you look at how niggas used to dickride Cardi, bro, I feel like if anybody else was making the music Cardi was making, they wouldn't have the same type of reaction. But it wasn't just because influence is very little to do with what you're doing and who is doing it. You understand? There's things that Kanye has done where niggas would be influenced by it because of the fact that Kanye did it. You understand? So saying that even this whole idea that Kanye is influential is like, it's a good narrative because everybody's influenced by Kanye in some shape or form, right? But it's like, in music, right? But it's like, bro, like it's also because that's a normal thing to say now. That's a cool thing to say because Kanye is like he's become like the face of yeah, even like Doug. Like if you look at Doug, like there was a period in time, boy, where like if you think I'm bullshitting, like you should not understand that there are people now who've become, especially now, I'm sure you can see this on TikTok or something, right? There are people who've become fans of Young Thug. Not because of just his music, but because of the personality and the persona and the image that Young Thug had around 2015, 2016, 2014. Like, there's so many iconic Thug videos, so many iconic Thug tweets. Like, that boy Slow Down is probably one of the most iconic things to come out of, like, life. That shit is one of the best memes ever. That boy Slow Down dropping all that BS music. That shit is important. Slow down, homie. Your little career almost over. Even the way he typed that shit at the yo, what, bro? Niggas don't know. Like that shit is like it show like, bro. It's like even like, bro. Like it's something that you gotta understand. Like it's like what it's the personality that like, and it's like it gives people this like sense of like connection to him. Even if they I could bet money. You see all these people who have Doug as like their profile picture on Twitter. These people who are obsessed with like the 2015 era, swag era. You know, those people who center their whole lives around 2014 and the Tumblr era. Those lame ass niggas and those lame ass girls, right? A large portion of it is because of the fact that like it's not even just Thug's music. It's the fact that Thug's music was unique, right? It was different, but it also gave off the sense that not everybody liked it, but a group of people liked it. So people felt like they were the special ones. You understand? So it's like they knew that they weren't the only ones who liked this music, but like not everyone liked this music, so they felt special. It wasn't some shit that you would hear like everywhere. Like not everyone was. It wasn't like a Drake thing where like everyone likes Drake. It was like a thing where it's like people liked Thug, but like you would get shit on by most niggas for liking Thug, but you didn't really care because if you go on the internet and you go into your little space and your little communities, right, there will be people who appreciated Thug the same way that you did, right? And that's kind of the thing I've like realized with like a lot of this shit. Was like with anything that you do, especially if it's like in the creative space, right? There's like an element of like there's an element of bullshitting you have to do, right? There's an element of like selling. That's what I kind of get like when they say you need to sell yourself. Like sell yourself means like there needs to be like because I the best example I really use of this is I always use Cardi. Like I always say Cardi is like a very take out the whole mysterious shit. Like just taking the fact that like bro, I don't know if niggas even remember like 2017 when he was like still with Og, right? And when he was still with like with the ASAP mob and he was like affiliated with like Rocky and stuff like heavily, right? There was a time like where Cardi like bro niggas had to come out and tell niggas like Cardi's not dead. Because the Cardi just didn't drop for ages and he was quiet. Rocky had to come out and tell niggas what Cardi like niggas thought he was dead. Rocky had to come out and I don't know when it was, but I remember like being on the internet and just like following Rocky or something and him coming out and telling niggas, yo, stop, chill out, Cardi's not dead, he's coming, like you know what I'm saying? But our large portion of Cardi's appeal like was like it was the fact that you weren't supposed to like his music. You weren't supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Like it was so much hate that people had, so it became funny to like watch people. Like, bro, if you think I'm bullshitting, like remember when Atme came out? Remember that white kid that like used to react to Cardi's music? That white kid, I forgot his name, but there was a white kid that used to react to his music. Yeah, like I forgot his name though. When Atme came out, he used to react to his music. And do you remember like when like do you understand how crazy Atme sounded? Atme at that time sounded. Pussy ain't need you touch it. That pussy nigga ain't about that shit. Like at that time, what that shit sound like? That shit sound like lifestyle to niggas back in 2015. That's what Atme sounded like. Atme sounded like lifestyle to niggas, but it didn't have the same type of hit appeal. It was some shit like it sounded like Thug, like how niggas hated Thug back then. It was the same shit, or how Yeezus. It sounded like how Yeezus sounded to niggas back in like 2013. That's how it sounded like. But at me, even to me, I remember hearing something like, bro, this is shit. Like, what is this nigga on? Because you gotta understand, this was a Lil Baby era, this Roddy Rich era, this Drake at his prime in terms of his size. He was like, Drake was damn near bull. It's still shocking to me that Drake actually fell off. Like, I never thought that would ever happen. But it goes to show you that, like, part of Drake's falling off has nothing to do with the fact that, like, okay, yes, the music, yes, but Drake got away making such mid-ass music for a long time that I believe that he could have continued to do that if the narrative wasn't the fact that he fell off. You understand? But because of the fact that he fell off for real, niggas really started, like, because Drake's been making ass for a minute. Like, I don't know what the fuck that nigga Nokia. But now this is the thing: if Drake dropped Nokia around about when For All the Dogs dropped, Drake would have literally had like the biggest song of the year. The only reason Nokia is not like number one right now is because, like, you know what I'm saying, it's no longer at that point where the narrative around Drake is that he's a hit maker and he's the biggest artist in the world, right? Like there's songs that Drake made in 2018 that weren't even supposed to be hits. They were just hits. Like Drake has been coding off that for a while. Songs that are not supposed to be hits, that are only hits because he made them. Like he's been doing that for a minute, like for a while. Like songs like Pop Star did not need to be number one on Billboard. Like they did not, but because it's Drake that made that shit. Songs like Search and Rescue did not need to be number two. Songs like what was that other shit that he made back in like 2019? That 2C Slide song was not really a hit. Like, it was just like, you know what I'm saying? But it was not gonna, like, I always take a hit. It's like, if you first heard the song for the first time from anybody else, like, if you heard The Hills by The Weeknd at that point from anybody else and they sang it like that, you would have known, oh, this is a hit. Like, we would say, that, but there's a lot, okay, I'm just rambling now. But I always try to say, like, with niggas like Yeats, right? I always felt like Yeats had, like, the most unique sound. I still feel like out of, like, the last 5 years, right? Yeet is I don't know niggas gonna say Cam and Destroy Lonely. I'm keeping it a stack, bro. As much as I like those niggas, there's nothing that they did that I couldn't get from Cardi. I'm keeping it a stack. Like there's nothing I need. Like I love Lone, I love Pressure, I love Lonely, the song. Like I'm feeling I'm lonely. That's why I'm not helping nobody. Like shit is beautiful. I like Lone more than Ken, mind you. Like I like a Great Chaos and shit, but I'm keeping it a stack. Like I feel like these little niggas on TikTok be dick riding shit to a point where it's like they forget the fact that before a Great Chaos dropped, Ken wasn't even like that type shit. But you feel me? That's another story for another day. But because of this shit, right? Like if niggas remember, like when like Yeet sound, like if Yeet really had, it's just Yeet's kind of like not corny. I love Yeet's music. Like I think Yeet, but I don't care about Yeet outside of his music. I don't care. I don't care about his videos. I don't care. Like it's not the same way I felt about Travis. There was a point in time where Travis was like top 3 flyest niggas, bro. I'm talking about 2018 era. Travis Scott was fly, bro, in a way that like you couldn't explain. Not fly in like a fashion nigga sense, but there was this air around Travis. I don't want to say aura because this is just another level of dick riding, but it was like this air around Travis, bro. Around this era when Astro dropped, when Birds in the Trap dropped, and 2015 Rodeo, when Rodeo dropped, that era, those eras, just there was this air around Travis Scott where it's like, and 2019 Travis, like Jack Boy's Travis, around that era, there was this air around him, bro, where it's like, damn, this nigga's like so fly. Like, even when you hear him on a song and he goes, oh, like he used to do that thing, boy, he was that nigga. Like, he was just on that type of shit. And it's like, a large portion of the reason why Travis Scott became successful was not just because of his music. It was because of the image, like the idea that people had of him. Like that the fact that Travis Scott was the face of coolness, the face of like, you know what I'm saying, the new school, like cool, like, you feel me, like a new sound, fresh hip hop, like you say. And now it's Cardi. That's the thing. I think Cardi's in that space now but I think Cardi didn't capitalize it to it the same way that someone like Travis did. Because Astro was like a moment, bro. Astro was like a thing which took Travis Scott to be Travis fucking Scott. Like that's what he truly, and it wasn't like in a tacky way where it's like he dropped bullshit and then he had high first week numbers. I'm talking about this is when he truly became a household name. Like you cannot deny him anymore type shit. And that's kind of like, I'm rapping about Travis Scott. I don't know why the fuck I'm doing that. But what I'm trying to get at is like, bro, in order to do shit, it's more about like how you make people feel over like the kind of like the amount of like talent is subjective as much as people might not think. Like there are people who hear these lyrical rappers and they be like, oh, that nigga's talented. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear no nigga and I'm in the back of a car trapping a rapping star and these niggas trying to take me back to court, but I'm not rapping a song. Like I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to listen to that bullshit. I'm not trying to vibe that in the car. I'm not trying to do that. But there's also like niggas in the underground where niggas be saying like niggas will sing hard rock is talented, and I was like, bro, I'm like that. No, like the fuck, like his music's cool, but like that niggas not have a good voice. He does not have like a there's very few niggas I would have considered talented. Because my thing of talent is like, what is a gift that you have that is like that other people can't replicate? For example, with Yeet. Yeet has a very good voice, right, for the type of music that he was making at that time. But he was also like really creative, like in terms of like how he used his voice. Like if you listen to Talk, I know niggas don't give Yeet his credit for like the fact that nigga might be like a musical genius. But if you listen to Talk, bro, like the way he took that little simple ass beat and I just brought in some ears, little bitches the first of the month. Like at that time when that shit first came out and I first heard it, I was like, bro, this is some like future type of music, like future music, like from another era. Like Yeats music sounded like music that you listen like to in a spaceship while you drink alien walk, and there's like hoes like that have like fat ass butts and they have tails and they're aliens and they offer you like say some alien pussy. Like he was on that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, bro, I miss that when his sound was like very unique. I kind of miss that, bro. I really miss that. Like that shit was hard, bro.